This is Luis Martin, the art engineer, and it's a papercut blog. It's been a while, but here we are. Welcome into my favorite place in the whole wide world, my studio and all my books surrounding me like a nice warm coat. It's fall. So two things. One, pause and go to collagedream.com and join our mailing list. There's some exciting stuff happening, so please go to collagedream.com and be sure you're on that mailing list because there's some exciting stuff coming up through there. Also, I want to thank all these amazing people who are doing these amazing collages on Prompt Weekly. I'm seeing all of them and I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing with them. Thank you for sharing them with me on email and also on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, don't be afraid. You can play, go to Instagram, get an account, it's fun. But if you're not on it and refuse to do it, that's okay. But I'd still love to see your work, so please do share it either through email or snail mail, any which way. I appreciate it, so thank you so much. So let's collage. So I have an image that I've been grappling with that I kind of want to use. So this is an image of a Native American person, and I've always wanted to collage them, but I always have a thing of approaching certain images with respect. And sometimes I don't like to use images that I know too much about because then it influences my decisions, and that's always kind of tough, right? Because then I'm not free to be creative. But then I thought, wow, this is such an important image, and it's not an image I want to throw away. I want to use it, right? And maybe tell a story in relation to myself. So let's just play along. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to treat it like any other face, but I'm also going to respect that I know a little bit about the history of the image that I'm working with, right? So I hope you have your collage material and you're collaging along with me. And I hope you've been working on these collage prompts. They have been the funnest thing I've done in a long time. To gather so many people and to rally around ideas. And I'll tell you a little secret. I have an agenda. All of my prompts, in some or the other, are invitations to make more than a pretty picture, right? I mean, yes, it's fine, make a pretty picture, but art can do a lot more. It's kind of like having a car. Just to have a car, you can go places with art, just like you can do with a car, right? So dive in if you haven't. Join the mailing list because something's coming. So that'll be really, really fun for me to see all of you collaging. So look at this. This is already a really interesting shape, right? Because I don't want to use that, obviously. So just kind of taking her out of there all of a sudden creates a really interesting shape. And let me tell you, I get so excited when I see on Instagram this mat, because it's kind of like, this is like the galaxy of creation for me. I can't even speak, I get so excited. Yeah, I get so excited even after like so many years and after so many collages. But this is kind of like this matrix where anything is possible, right? So I'm gonna put this here, and look at that, just as exciting, but I like it on the green better. And as I had mentioned before, we have neighbors in our lives, we have people who keep us in our supplies, and we were doing our collage kits right now, and look at these. These are such beautiful images and colorful strips that I couldn't throw them away. I really want to use them. And I have some circles that also form part of our collage kits. So let's play, let's see what I can do with this, right? I've done weaving before, but you know what's interesting? The magic is in juxtaposition, right? So if I put this image of this Native American woman who we don't know, right? We don't know her identity, next to the Mona Lisa, all of a sudden there's this conversation about femininity, about icons, about what makes a memorable face, what makes one that is erased with history, right? It gets really deep, and right now is a really good time to use art to kind of make sense of the craziness that never seems to go away. But it's okay. The world's always been ending, and we can get through this. So I'm gonna separate the ones that I like, just like any other collage, right? We start with the things we like. Look at this. This is beautiful. So these are beautiful examples of the things that you would get in your collage kit. I have been getting a lot of requests from people abroad. You know, I think COVID is kind of waning on its restraint on the mail system. So if you are interested, send me an email and we can get a quote to see how much it is. Because I do want to get some of this exciting stuff in your hand. So let's play. I think I've been playing along a lot with this weaving technique, and believe me, it's not, I don't do it nearly as well as you can, because it's a beautiful technique that also is very connected to the Native American image, right? How about that? Full circle. So that's what happens when you collage. So many things, so many unexpected connections start to happen, right? Maybe one of these. Look at these. I mean, just alone there, that is such an exciting array of colors and shapes that when I put this, something else starts to happen, right? So maybe I'm gonna work with this a little bit more. I have these images too. So beautiful. So again, I was always afraid to use these images because I wanted to be really respectful, but then if I don't use them, then they go to waste and then they're not remembered, right? So think about that when you make your choices and decisions about what you choose to give space in your art practice. What do you want to hold on to? What do you want to propagate? That's a huge word, propagate. Because with everything that we make, we're propagating ideas, right? So be sure you're propagating ideas that you can stand behind. So here's one of my boxes. Ooh, look at this. That's beautiful. Maybe we'll play with that. Dots, you know I love my dots. Check that out. This is beautiful. And this is from one of our last collage kits where we gave zebra prints. This is for the black and white one. Maybe just one more element that I can play with. Oof, so fun. So much color everywhere. I like these. Maybe we can use these. Isn't that fun? So every once in a while, I suggest that you get your box and just throw it all away and make room for new things. I'm so enamored by this though, honestly. I kind of don't want to move that. Okay, but I will. Nothing is too precious, right? I think that's really important. When you're making a collage and things get too pretty too quick, go with it, start another collage, or don't be afraid to kind of get started on a new one. In art school, that's what they say, don't get too precious, meaning don't get too attached to the prettiness of it, especially when you want to go a little bit deeper and make more than a pretty picture, right? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make more than a pretty picture. Oh, this is really interesting too. Oh, how fun is that? Let's see what's behind this. That's cool too. And I said I had these circles. So it's always cool to have, like, look at this. How fun is that? Just to have random things that you can kind of just play with just the very last minute. Oh, that's, like, this is from a plate. That might be a really nice element to play with. Food, you know what? I don't include food in my collage kits because food can be triggering, you know? I was a vegan for a few years and, you know, certain foods just make me feel a little bit wrong. So I try not to trigger people in that way. I do try to trigger creativity by putting colors and textures. That's definitely a power we have to do, that we can do. But, you know, we have to use it wisely. We don't want to hurt people. So I'm loving that. I'm loving this. Check that out. And I thought this would be interesting like that. Nothing, kind of like a halo or something. But I also don't want to turn her into a saint, right? Or like a Madonna, because that would be doing the opposite. If you think a little bit about the history of Native Americans and how they were forced to become Christians and all this other crazy stuff. So let's play with this. Luckily there's a little, maybe I can play. That's kind of fun. So right now, as I'm making this video, our prompt is cyborg. Maybe I can bring some of that into this. Cyborg, half robot, half human. what makes you superhuman, right? Your collage abilities, your storytelling abilities, all of these things really matter. So it's good to know that you know. It's good to know, right? Okay, so let me play more. So right off the bat, I really like this. A good exercise would be to take a bunch of these strips and just make a bunch of rows and have those handy, right? Just a bunch of bars together. And you're ready to go next time you want to create a collage, or next time you find an image worthy of all those patterns, right? Like, I've been holding on to this forever, and I'm glad I'm finally getting to use it on such a beautiful image that makes me happy. I love this here because of this asymmetry it creates. I love asymmetry sometimes. That's so cool. That's neat. I kind of liked that idea of that conversation with Marilyn or with the Mona Lisa and what that implies. So maybe I'll add that, maybe. That's kind of neat. And here's where we can weave. You can actually take your time and really weave something. And, you know, usually just the slightest woven thing looks so beautiful. So do play. It's interesting, right? This says fragile, or it comes from something that says fragile. So this is where the overthinking can happen, right? Well, if I say something fragile next to this image, what does that say onto the image? So, you know, we don't have to go there. We don't have to go too crazy on the meanings. Let me play a little bit more. Here's just a book I got it from random, and see what I can get from here. Oh, beautiful. Oh, he's so sad. These are so, oh, I love the lion. So, I mean, here's a really interesting thing, right? When we look at art or history books, we usually find European references more than anything else. So sometimes it's hard to create art that isn't so Eurocentric or has that idea. So that, you know, that's an interesting conversation to have. Kind of like him. Maybe I'll use him, maybe I won't, but let's cut him out. I do like, I mean, I think this is like, okay, print, done, but we can go a little bit further, right? I think that's a really good question to ask yourself when you're collaging. Can I take this further? And another really good question that I ask myself is, have I made this collage before? Right? Because it's good to have a go-to style or a go-to pattern or texture that you go to, but in order to grow and make more than pretty pictures, you have to, you don't have to do anything. But, you know, if you want to grow, you can ask yourself these questions. Have I already made this collage? Let me do something different. Let me take what worked from this collage and do something different with other colors or other textures or something else to tweak it. But, I mean, but that's the thing, right? You don't have to do anything. You can just truck along, but it's just a good question to ask yourself if you feel bored or stale. Ooh, then it becomes a double portrait. And that's gonna be a no. But you know what? Okay. The only reason I didn't want to like cement this is like, oh, it was so fast. But it doesn't matter. Sometimes collages come really fast and sometimes they take time. And like I said, I can literally say that I've been making this collage for a year because I've been holding on to this image for a year. I've been holding on to that one for just as long, and it just came together, right? I just invited it to be something. So it didn't just take, what, 15 minutes as I started recording this video. No, it's been in the works for a while, right? So don't be surprised when you make a collage and it comes together really fast. Because the truth is that you've been working on it for a while. Oh, I love it. I really do. So this is, again, this is a really good way to deal with certain, you know, we can even call them traumas or resolve histories, right? I'm giving this Native American person that I'm connected to in many ways space, right? I'm remixing it, the image. And maybe I don't even need this conversation, right? Maybe I'm above the conversation. I'm done with that conversation. I'm just like, nope, she's beautiful no matter what. So that's another question. What conversations are worth having over and over and which aren't? Just create a new narrative. So actually, I was gonna put this here, but I like this empty space that allows you to kind of breathe. And then I like all this jazz over here that makes you, and it's just so much texture. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, okay, look at this. Look how cool that is. It's a triangle, and it just created the smallest triangle there. I love when that happens. Harmony. Cool. So, I mean, if you need harmony in your life, take 5 minutes, make a really quick collage, take a circle, take a square, take a triangle, make them work together. All right, this is my collage, you guys. Again, it didn't take me 15 minutes. It took me a year because I've been holding on to these images for such a long time. Oh, yeah, this really makes me happy. So I'm gonna cement this. So again, I use these beautiful strips. They hold everything in place. They do not fall off. If you are a collage artist and you are interested in selling your work, these are beautiful because they're archival, they're permanent. So when you sell your work and you're no longer there to, you know, put things back if they fall off, these will not fall off, and your collectors won't be scared or sad when they see things falling off, because they won't. So, I mean, I don't mean to be congratulatory, but I really am happy with this collage because it really makes me happy. Really, like, wow. So I'll stop there. But I also have this guy, you guys. I kind of want to do something with him. And I mean, the possibilities are endless. Look at that. Ooh, again. So collage number 2. This might be a 2-for-1 type thing here. I'm just gonna go with this because I don't want to. Look at that. Again, this is from scraps, right? So I'm telling you, hold on to those scraps. Gee, look at that. Okay, does that work? It does. Okay, there. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Very cool, and I'm gonna cut this off just so we can sell the illusion a little bit better, right? Love that. I'm gonna get a substrate. I use Bristol board just because it is very thick and sturdy, and I recommend it. So if you can get your hands on this, this is great. Otherwise, use whatever you have at your disposal, because you don't want to not make art just because you don't have supplies, right? I love this. What if we use this? This is what came from him. So what if you use this as a mirror? How fun is that, right? And then we can use a bunch of other scraps to kind of create the mirror image. Oh my goodness, how fun is that? So see, I leaned into that collage and it opened doors. So don't be afraid to do what you want to do, because it'll open doors. See, that collage of the Native American image gave me kind of this like boost, like, okay, we did that, we can do more. So that feels really good. I kind of like that white space there, huh? What else do I have? I feel like I had some green. Oh, this is a nice little pink. Okay, and again, when you make your collages, they're not for the Louvre, right? If they are, congratulations, but they're not for the Louvre. So don't go crazy with trying to be perfect. I would rather you spend time trying to make them resolved and make them make sense for you, right? Don't make art for the Louvre, because that'll just break your heart and your head. So I'm not making art for the Louvre here. What I am doing is I'm trying to make it resolved. And you know what? Again, I love Instagram, but I don't post everything I do on Instagram, because not all of it makes sense to other people. It makes sense to me, but it might not be up to the standard that I want to show on Instagram, right? I'm really liking this. Yes. I'm going to round this off just to make it look like it's part of his attire. Does that make sense? Again, I'm just kind of being fussy here for fun. This is how I have fun. Okay, there we go. Love it. So this is kind of an interesting collage. I wonder if I have a letter laying around somewhere that I can use. Oh, look, we can put this here. Oh, I love that. Bear with, bear with. There it is. Is that it? Now I'm just being fussy, like really fussy, but hold on. Okay, here we go. I just wanted to make sure that, I don't know, that it clicks. And that's a big thing, that it clicks, you know? That it just goes well. Yes, there it is. That's clicking. Yes. I'm just gonna go. Okay, so let me get this. Oh, how fun. So see how this one came together opposed to the other one? Because this one I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna make it work. Whereas the other one I was a little bit more methodical and wanted to make sure that I didn't do anything that was disrespectful. So again, that's not the way I prefer to make art. I don't like to walk on eggshells, but it's something to think about, right? When you want to make an image and what it means to you and what it can mean to others. So think about that. I think this is a collage. I think we're done here. I have this little piece, maybe I can put here. Oh man, that's so cool. I kind of like it sideways because it just makes more. Oh, I love that. Okay. Oh, this one makes me happy too. All right, so listen, don't need drugs. You do need coffee, but all you need is to make art. It's a huge mood elevator, huh? How cool is that? Okay, so this is my second collage, and I think we're done. So two very different collages that are very related. So why do I like these? I like this one because I gave space to an image that's really important to me, and I was walking a little bit on eggshells, but sometimes it's good to turn that part of the brain on, right? And be creative from that aspect. Here I did the opposite, where it's like, oh, I don't care, I just I got this guy, so let me make something of him. So try doing both of those things. Take an image that means something to you. It could be religious, it could be an image of your parents, it could be an image of someone you don't like or really love, and make a collage. See what decisions and how you make decisions. And then make a collage with the scraps. See what happens. Just throw it together and 1, 2, 3, you're done. That's kind of what we did here. So this is Luis Martin, the art engineer, with a paper cuts vlog. I'm so happy you're here with me, and be sure to join me on the mailing list at collagedream.com, because I will be sending you something really special. So be well, and there is much adventure to be had in this collage dream.